my article that appears in the February 2020 issue of the Journal of Analytical Psychology is called Apocalyptic Themes in Times of Trouble When Young Men Are Deeply Alienated. This is based on a talk that I was privileged to be able to give at the IAAP Congress last August in Vienna. It's based on my practice primarily with adolescent boys and young adult men, in which alienation is often associated with destructive fantasies. Many of these destructive fantasies really are stimulated and in some sense provoked by the violent video gaming that many of these boys and young men engage in. There's a kind of archetypal pull in a lot of the imagery that's used in these video games, many of which, by the way, are set in apocalyptic scenarios, and that may feel, unfortunately, relevant to many of us during this time of coronavirus. I use Durr's image of the four horsemen of the apocalypse to sort of give an image of some of the particular emotional contents that are evoked by this apocalyptic kind of feeling and scenario. I also talk about the four horsemen of the apocalypse based on what we know as a primary source in the book of Revelation from the Bible. And there, the four horsemen, we have the first horseman on a white horse who's associated with often with conquest, and I link him to addiction that often shows up in many of the patients that I've treated. And then the red horse, who is often associated with war, and so the link there is to aggression. And of course, there are many, many unfortunate examples of male aggression that play out, particularly in the 15 to 30 age range, not solely in that age range, but that is a vulnerable period for a lot of boys and young men. And then the third horse is the black horse, and that horse is often thought to represent famine. And in the paper I talk about how that kind of emotional deprivation internally is a sort of famine that many of them describe when they report emptiness and loneliness. And then the last horse is the pale rider, and that one is representative of death and despair. So I hope you might be interested and that you'll take a look at the article. Thank you.